of times people just struggle. It's not that they don't know how to squat, it's just sometimes people are in a position where their body just can't perform it correctly. Okay? And that can be a number of things. It could be tight hips, it could be a tight lower back, it could be bad knees, throughout our life. Or one of the biggest things we see, and what the world sees, is poor ankle mobility. Okay, so if you have poor ankle mobility, which I do, okay, so I don't know how many of you do, but we're about to find out. I don't have good ankle mobility. It doesn't mean that I can't squat, but I also think, oh, if I have better ankle mobility, I can probably squat better. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to test your ankle mobility right away. And this is going to wrap into the whole session as we go through it. In this test, I make a thumbs up position. If this is a wall, I put my thumb up against the wall and I put it on the ground, and then I put my toe this far away from the wall. Okay, and then I remove my hand. Now I have this 5-inch gap. My goal is to drive my knee into the wall without my heel coming up. Okay, now if I have good enough ankle mobility, I'll be able to touch the wall and have this angle on my leg. But if I don't, what's going to happen is my heel is going to come up in order to touch. Okay, so that's what you're testing here. So we're talking stability now, not mobility. We're talking stability. Being able to keep a strong foundation and a good base. His weight should be evenly distributed on his feet. Okay, he's not just on his toes, he's not just on his heels. So if I come over here and I start pushing him around, he can hold his own, right? He can hold his own. He can hold his own. Now, someone with poor ankle mobility or somebody that doesn't understand this concept, what are they going to do? They're going to lift up their heels, they're going to be on their toes, and knees are going to probably go forward. And then look at that. So even the strongest squatters are weak when they don't have a good foundation. Okay? So that's one thing I want you guys to think about. Okay? Where's your weight on your feet? This is your foundation in a squat. If this is wrong, everything else is wrong. Okay? You can't be on your toes, you can't just be on your heels. Okay? It has to be even. Okay? And you can see with him, as strong as he is, how easy it was for him to get pushed over if he even just took his heels up a little bit. So this is going to be basically called a wall squat. Okay, now this is going to prevent two of the biggest mistakes we see in a squat, and that's falling on the chest, and it's going to be knees driving forward. And the purpose of this, guys, is to make you realize how hard it is, and how unnatural it is, and how hard you have to work to keep position in a squat. It's not like walking, like it's just normal, you don't even need to think about it. When you're squatting, you need to be on, you need to be focused, you need to realize, what am I trying to work here, and what should I be feeling? And it's throughout the whole movement, not just the way down. So with a wall squat, what you're going to do is you're going to stand about a foot away from the wall, you're going to put your hands straight up in the air facing the wall, and what you're going to do is you're going to push, you're going to engage the movement by pushing your hips back, and you're going to try, I need to get even a little bit closer, you're going to keep your hands from touching the wall, and you're not going to let your knees hit the wall. And what you're going to feel is this tightness in your lower back. You're going to feel your core start to engage. Now, your goal in this is to get as close to the wall as you can. Okay, so you're going to pick a point, maybe mine's like 8 inches about. Hands are up, my hands don't touch. Again, I engage the movement, my hips go back. I push my butt back, and now I'm sitting down in my squat, and I'm making sure my knees and my chest is not falling. I'm not touching this wall. Okay, if I can do that, then I'm going to scoot a little bit closer. Okay? Hopefully you got a little bit different feeling on how a squat should feel and how hard that squat was, even without weight involved, right? And then you think about some people that are in camp, with a 60-pound dumbbell on their back, they don't even know if they're doing it right, and they wonder why they got back pain. You know what I'm saying? How hard that was, just the body, So those are things that you should feel. That's how it should feel. That's the mindset you got to have on how hard I need to work and be locked in on everything to keep position, to keep my body safe, and to build that good tension in my body. But now we're going to talk about 3 biggest mistakes people make while squatting. Okay? Now these are things that anybody can do. I've been caught doing these things. I've caught numerous members or trainers have caught you doing this, and this happens to everybody. It just doesn't mean that it's a condition or it's a certain person. This can happen to anybody. Okay? The first one is called the butt leap. A lot of people, even if you do this, you probably don't know you do it. Okay? This is something that probably a trainer has saw. What it is, guys, is basically in your squat, if you look at my lower back and literally my pelvis, okay, my tailbone, in a squat, if I'm squatting down, once I get to the bottom of my squat, okay, what's going to happen is my pelvis or my tailbone is going to drip down, it's going to pop at the bottom, and then it's going to come up. And then I'm here, and watch my lower back, how it bulges out, okay? I drop my hips, and I'm back up. Again, watch my lower back, I drop down, I'm getting there, I'm fighting it, now watch my lower back, bam, it folds out, and I get my ass to drop underneath my hips. It's called the butt weak, okay? That's one of the biggest mistakes for the squat. Now again, this doesn't mean that you do this, but this can happen to anybody, okay? It can be fatigue, it can be many things, but the biggest reason, okay, or one of the biggest reasons I should say, why people could butt weak, poor ankle mobility, okay? If you have poor ankle mobility, you're more likely to butt weak. Why? Because you lack the ability to create this angle, which is called, I'm going to get technical, dorsiflexion in your ankle. So at the bottom of your squat, you see this sharp cut right here, right? In my top of my foot, my shin, it's a sharp cut. But somebody with poor ankle mobility, they end up sitting back like this. So that sharp cut now turns into more of an L, okay, instead of that sharp V. And then I pop my butt, and then you can only imagine what that does to your spine, what that does to your disc, and what that can do if we just learned how much we need to work to keep tension. Okay, when that ass drops like that, when that butt drops like that, all tension is lost. It's like a free spot. Okay, and the only thing that's taking that load on your back and your hands is now your spine. Okay, because literally you're almost losing that brace. Okay, because it's almost a compensation for something, right? Poor ankle mobility. Maybe I'm not getting down as low as the trainers tell me to, so I'm gonna compensate. I'm just gonna drop. I'm just gonna get to 90 because that's what Max wants me to do. Now I have back pain when I'm squatting. This is gonna seem like a band-aid to slap on, but it's not. I'm gonna give you an exercise in camp that you all have most likely seen before that can almost instantly cure a butt weak, okay, or somebody that lacks a little bit of ankle mobility. What do? You elevate your heels. Now, it might seem like a band-aid, right? Why would I elevate my heels when you just told me to keep my heels down? Okay? Now, our goal is to fix the problem. Again, I'm not diagnosing, I'm not a PT, but I know that there's ankle mobility stretches to help my ankle that can probably help yours too. And our goal here is for you to be able to do a squat and burn boot camp the right way. Okay? And what elevating your heels does, what that does is it's a squat that requires less ankle mobility to accomplish properly than this. But it's the same thing, okay? So now I'm still able to get down, but now I have the dorsiflexion in my legs right here that's allowing me to create that angle to where I don't need to compensate anymore, okay? So I'm sitting there holding that position, I'm getting 90 degrees, and I'm right back up. And with this, this is actually a great exercise. It's actually, you've heard me say in demos, elevated heels actually allows you to get a deeper squat, and it puts more pressure on your quads. So this is an exercise we do just to do it because it's such a good exercise. But this is something that you can easily do in camp with this or a light dumbbell. Please don't do like a 25-pound dumbbell, like a 10, something like that. Easy way to make that a quick fix. Okay, so again, it's not a band-aid. It's not, oh, Max, you're just gonna slide this under my heels so I can squat right? No, I'm gonna give you the tools to take home and make it better, so you don't need that all the time as well, okay? Again, if you're someone like me that needs to work on ankle mobility, you might want to do this in camp, literally. Why not? Why not do it? If you can do a squat properly and take out that stress on your spine. Again, don't forget the big picture here. We're talking back pain and we're talking knee pain. And these are the biggest reasons why people experience lower back pain or knee pain, okay? Second one, guys, second biggest mistake is called the good morning squat. Again, anybody can do this. It's like I got, 50 pounds on my back, not 10. This is a good morning squat. All right. See that? That's a good morning squat, okay? So I'm going down, notice my chest. Can you read my shirt? No, and I want you to notice the tempo of my hips rising faster than my chest. Right? Hips rise faster than the chest. Imagine what it does to your spine. Literally, what your body's doing is you're getting tighter. This is why it can happen to anybody. This has happened to me before. You're getting fatigued. It's the third round. You still got the 60-pound dumbbell on your back, and now you're getting tired, and now you're noticing your back. And a lot of this, guys, I want you to think you need to have self-awareness in camp to correct these things. Not just me telling you right now, and then it's just in your brain. You need to be thinking about these things in camp. And the biggest cause for a good morning squat, regardless of, or not regardless, but if you have tight hips, obviously that's going to pull you down a little bit. If you have tight back, that can pull you down a little bit, okay? But if you're a pretty, let's say, healthy individual with decent hips, then the biggest reason for that is fatigue. So as you're getting tired, what happens is the quads can't fire as much, so your body goes to the next strongest thing, which is your glutes, to get you out of the hole of the movement at the bottom of the squat. So you get there, quads are working, now I'm here, and I'm like this, and I'm bent over, and now, you know, these just ain't got the juice, but this does, okay? Bam, so I'm gonna use it to get me up. And just imagine the stress and the consistent, you know, wear and tear it does on the back. And that's a pretty easy fix, okay? Pretty easy fix, you just did that on the wall. Okay, you just felt what it was like to squat without the slightest drop in your chest. Okay, the best tips you can do in camp is literally ask a trainer to watch your squat. Just like, Max, you watch me, you see my chest is doing. You can practice. Let's actually have everyone stand up. Let's do it right now. Why not? We're gonna do it without the wall. We're gonna do it without the wall. Trainers, you guys get ready. We're actually gonna do a little tip. If you take camp with me, if we're in a warm up and we're ever doing bodyweight squats, you're gonna see me right here. Prisoner squats. Why? Not because I'm resting my arms, it's because I'm keeping my chest open, I'm keeping my chest up. So if you ever see me in camp doing this is why I'm doing this. I'm just prepping my body. I'm just training it like a damn machine, right? So we're gonna go hands behind the head, prisoner squat. My squat, my toes are pretty forward. That does not mean that's you though, okay? Everybody's a little different. You might need to go a little bit wider, okay? You might need to go a little bit tighter. Your toes might need to go more as an outward point. I like to squat with my toes straight forward, okay? That does not mean that that's the definition of a squat. You can open up your heels a little bit. You can open up your stance a little bit. If your hips are a little bit tighter or different build in mind, you might better with a little bit wider stance. So test these things right now, okay? Play with your stance. What feels good, okay? Where do I need my toes? Straight, or I need to go a little bit out to the side? Play with your feet. Play with your stance and see if you find something that works best for you. Find your stance that you like. Find your toe angle that you like. And act like you're on that wall again, okay? Imagine it's just a blank wall right here, okay? And then you're gonna squat down. I want everything in super, super slow motion. Draw that belly button in. Embrace that core. Don't butt weak. Don't good morning. Get down to 90. Again, it's having the awareness to self-evaluate, right? So that's one thing to think about. And guys, the best thing you can do in camp when it comes to squatting, if you're starting to feel that back pain come on, which everybody, almost everybody, came up to how you feeling, Tanya? Oh, it's getting tight. It's getting tight. Okay. What I said? Drop the weight. Drop the weight. Lower the weight. Lower the weight. It's okay. You have to have that discipline and the awareness to make the right decision for your body to back off. This isn't a traditional training program. We're balls to the wall 100% all the time. You're not in a traditional gym where you're going to do a set of a squat of 10 reps and then rack it and then sit there for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then do it again. Okay, not here, right? It's constant, bang, bang, bang. So you just need to have the awareness to adjust and have the self-evaluation to think about those things, okay? Am I fully braced? Okay, am I butt weakening? Maybe I need a trainer to check me real quick. Is my chest falling? Okay, if it is, maybe I just lower the weight. Maybe I got a 50, maybe I go 30. It doesn't mean I need to go body weight, but you can go body weight, and you need to meet. And the biggest thing one of the biggest messages I can leave you guys here with is meet your body where it's at. Okay, just because somebody else is doing something, don't think that you have to do that. Okay, if someone else is lifting 50, doesn't mean that you need to lift 50. You can do a bodyweight exercise, and if you know that your body needs that, you just felt that for the first time today, you're like, man, I've never felt this in 2.5 years I've run boot camp. Like my body feel that way in a squat. Maybe that's a telltale sign that you need to kind of think about those things in camp. Just be honest with yourself, right? All right, last thing, everybody's on their feet. All right, this is the last thing. One of the biggest mistakes people make in squats. This is more of a technique. Breathing. Okay, breathing. Most people just don't know how to breathe in a squat. Can anybody here breathe underwater? No, nobody? Nor can you in a squat then. Nor can you in a squat then. So everybody, all right, I'm gonna cue you up like we're in yoga. All right, everyone standing there. We got the water up to our chin. All right, we got the weights in our hand. We're getting ready to squat. We're gonna take a big deep breath in. Fill that belly up with air. We're gonna hold it and we're gonna squat. We're gonna hold it, get down 90 degrees, hold it, don't let it go, come up, your head's up the water. Reset, repeat. Do it again, hold the breath, come down 90, don't let it out. When you get head over the water again, then let it out, okay? Why do you breathe that way in a squat? Because any support you can give your spine in a squat is a big deal, okay? And if you can fill your belly up with air, guess what that does? Boom. Braces your spine. So that's why you take a big deep breath of air and on the way down, because this is where the most tension is. This is where the hardest part is. So I'm holding that breath, and Now I'm at the top where I can almost not relax, but I can obviously let that air out. You gotta breathe at some point, right? And the only way that you will not do that in a squat is if I have you down there for like 3 pulses. And now you just sit there turning red. You know what I'm saying? You gotta breathe down there. At some point you gotta breathe. If it's a standard rep, you can go with that rhythm, okay? But anything else, you might need to be a little bit careful. All right, make sense? Say yes? Yes.